Hello, YouTubers. How are we all doing this evening? There we go. Hello, YouTube. Hi, guys. How are we? And TikTok is actually ready to roll. Oops, my hair is sticking up. Of course it is. TikTok, go live. Yeah, TikTok's good. All right. See, relatively on time tonight. Let me see. Mirror the image. All right. There we go. A little bit of sunlight on TikTok, but they'll survive. The sun's peeking out at the last minute. It wasn't all afternoon. So I opened the window, and of course, now that I opened the window, the sun's coming through, of course, or open the curtains. If it's a problem, I'll shut the curtains again, but I'm assuming it should hopefully be okay. We'll see. May just be a couple minutes of sunlight for TikTok. We'll see. We'll see. Hello, Ash. Hello, everybody. How are we doing this evening? Welcome all. Oh, hey, Dave. Hey, Karen. So I had my COVID shot and my flu shot yesterday. And like an idiot, I said, oh, give me Moderna. That's the stronger one. It's not the worst, but it feels like I've got a 25% flu today, like where you're just kind of like things hurt and you're like, okay, this was stupid. I kind of knew it when I asked. I said, Moderna's the good one. Yeah, Moderna's the good one, but Moderna's the one that you feel. It's okay. I'll survive. It's not the worst, but it's just a little bit. I even considered canceling because I'm just kind of like, I'm just kind of hurting a little bit, but I'll survive. Anyway, what do you do? So welcome, guys. John Aravosis here, talking to you about the latest news from Washington and a little bit of news from Ukraine at the end. My show is Monday to Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern, as you guys know. We'll talk about a lot of Trump news like we always do. What else? Tomorrow's coffee talk, we will still do. It's going to be a short one, because I've got to run out to Virginia for the day. So we'll meet at 11, but it may be half an hour since I've got to run out. Thank you, Jess, for the gift. So that's for the folks who are the monthly subscribers. Oh, big news from TikTok. I'm rather shocked. TikTok has changed the way they deal with the superfan. You know, superfans are really expensive. I mean, okay, I shouldn't knock them because I want you to become superfans to support me. But superfans are kind of expensive on TikTok. And they used to take 50%. Now they're going to take 10%, which is huge. Somebody had mentioned this the other day, and I was surprised about that because somebody said, yeah, you can get 90%. And I went, get out of here. What are you talking about? So yeah, so the super fans, as long as I do like 3 super fan only videos a month, which frankly, I should have been doing for you guys anyway, they're going to up it to 90% share for me. That is huge. You can't watch the sub-only videos. It is possible, Zerpachi, that they've got to approve it. I read something kind of crazy. It seems a little nutsy, but it claimed that sometimes it takes 2 days to get approved, although it looks like the video's live. Let's give it some time and see what happens. But yeah, so 90% for creators is huge. I mean, you know, YouTube does 70%. TikTok used to do, well, TikTok gifts are still 50%, but TikTok did 50% for the subscribers. Now super fans, 90% going to the creator is absolutely huge. Like that's a big deal. Anyway, on super fans, yeah, not a bad idea. I actually got knocked of, I was a subscriber on another guy's podcast, whatever, TikTok, and it won't let me into any of his videos. I was like, same thing. I couldn't get into his fans only videos. I was like, okay, but it still shows that I'm one of his fans. I'm like, okay. Anyway, they're dealing with this. But anyway, my point here is that super fans are now a very, 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 very helpful thing for creators. Follow and subscribe. It should not say follow and subscribe. It should say super fan and follow. Let's try that. Super fan. How about writing it in English? Super fan. And hello. Can I do this in English? I don't know. I don't know. And there we go. Oops. Zoom. Follow. There we go. All right. It should have said super fan. Super fan. But yes, I know it's not cheap, but you know, you do get the weekend show. You get fun emojis, and you get to know that you are part of a community that is making a difference, which I think is kind of important, frankly. So if you want to help out your creators that you like the most, join their communities and become super fans. So there you go. All right. Anyway, Thank you all. Let's get moving here. So, Trump had this is kind of weird. Trump had a second physical today. The White House, his White House is just like a walking lie factory. He had his now they're calling it his semi-annual physical. I was going to make a joke, probably an inappropriate joke I can't make. Like, he'll be, I can't say it. It's like everything's a semi-annual physical, right? I mean, no one has a semi-annual physical. Dogs have a somebody said dog years. I Googled this today. Senior pets have semi-annual physicals. People don't. The only time people have semi-annual, meaning twice a year, the only time you have a twice a year physical is if you're sick. That's why you have a twice a year physical. You don't get it because you're old. That's not it. So it should be important to remember here, by the way, Trump lied to us during COVID, if you recall. He almost died. I mean, he almost died during COVID. He got it so bad, his breathing, his blood oxygen was in the dangerous level. They had to send him to Walter Reed, and then they lied to us about it, of course. Remember, oh, he's fine. He wasn't fine. He almost died. He lied about it. This guy lies about his health a lot. We are never going to find out what's wrong with him, but sending him for a second physical this year is not a normal thing you do for people that are healthy. It's just, I Googled it, like I said, because I'm not a big conspiracy guy. But it's not something you do unless somebody's sick. So anyway, I'm trying to control myself, by the way, when talking about these things. I'm not going to give positive or negative feedback on these stories. I'm just going to tell you that it suggests that he's ill. Trump lost the Nobel Prize today. That was exciting. Yeah, he's 6'3". Exactly. So Trump lost the Nobel Prize today to Maria Corina Machado, Venezuelan opposition activist, won the election. Of course, Maduro's still there, isn't he? I think the sort of dictator of Venezuela. Well, Trump's people flipped out that she got the Nobel Peace Prize. Mind you, right? She's fighting for her country against a dictator. First of all, I'm going to read you some of these tweets because they were pretty fabulous from Trump's staff. They blew a gasket. The MAGA universe blew a gasket that this woman won. They, of course, all thought Trump should win. Honestly, Donald Trump's whole life seems to be one big, actually, a kind of MAGA movement overall. It seems to be getting into the participation trophy mindset where we've said this before. If they're accusing you of something, it's an admission, right? When they accuse us of something, they're admitting something about themselves. Remember, they made participation trophies such a big story years ago, meaning, even if you didn't win, you should get a trophy. That's Donald Trump to a T. And that's their movement to a T. You gotta have to love this. Like, why doesn't anybody like us? Well, I don't know. Maybe you should think about that. Why does Donald Trump keep going to, getting accused of crimes? Well, maybe you should think about that. This was for a couple things here, actually. One, it was too late for him to get the Nobel. He's still up for it next year, so to speak. But they're such goofballs, and he's such a goof that actually, here's what happened. He flipped out. You can always reverse engineer what's going on in Trump land because he's so facile. He's so simple-minded. Trump flipped out this morning that he didn't get the Nobel. And nobody could explain to him, Mr. Trump, your peace thing with Israel only happened yesterday. The Nobel wouldn't cover yesterday, right? February 1st was the end of the nominations. Right? It didn't, and Trump, by the way, Trump mistakenly, that's a nice way of putting it, mistakenly thinks that he brought peace. He cured 9 wars now. He stopped 9 wars. He didn't. He likes to claim he saved millions of lives between Pakistan and India. Millions of lives they told me were going to be lost. Pakistan and India shot at each other once. One, the other, in 24 hours. And they were able to get it to stop. Trump might have played a role, although the Indians said not so much. Trump claimed he stopped it. The Indians were like, not so much. He now claims, I saved millions of lives. You didn't save millions of lives. You didn't. But even that, all that stuff happened after February 1st. You had to have the stuff happen by February 1st for it to be considered this year. everything Trump did in office mostly was after February 1st. He got into office January 20th. My point here isn't to suggest that Trump actually deserves a Nobel Prize. He doesn't. And I think the Norwegians get that, right? I mean, he's a warmonger. He's a horrible human being. He's the antithesis of Alfred Nobel's whole point here. Thank you for that. Big Hawk, of course, it's you. But Trump himself is so goofy that he woke up this morning and the staff probably tried to, I'm sure the staff probably tried to explain, said, Mr. President, you need to realize tomorrow you're not going to get the Nobel because your Nobel is next year. It's too late to consider this year. You know, they tried, he flipped out and he ordered them all to go crazy online this morning. And they did, including his own White House communications director went crazy today. Thank you, Flower Lady. Oh, that's my Trump wig, isn't it? He went nuts today and they went nuts. I want to read you their tweets because again, there we go. It tells you something. I still feel like Martha Stewart a little bit here. It tells you something about them. Listen to these tweets, okay? Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer is a great one. Laura Loomer is a possibly Trump's top advisor, his Rasputin. Also, they were, how do I say this? They were very close during the campaign. They were very touchy-feely to the point that the press noticed and she disappeared for 2 months at the end of the campaign because they were very touchy-feely and close and it didn't look good. Laura Loomer, imagine thinking a woman who cries nonstop about Nicolas Maduro has done more for the world than President Trump. What an absolute joke. Everyone knows President Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. More affirmative action nonsense. They called her, she basically called her a DEI hire. She suggested she got the, oh, thank you, Sarah. She suggested that what is it, Corina Machado got the Nobel Prize because she's a girl and she's Latino. It was DEI. It's like, or she risked her life fighting for an entire country to be free, which is something you folks wouldn't understand because you're fighting for an entire country to not be free. Oh, but it goes on. Megyn Kelly, formerly of Fox News. At Fox, Roger Ailes never even allowed anyone to submit for an award because he understood how meaningless they were, a leftist celebration of leftist behavior. Trump deserves the Peace Prize, but the loser here is the Nobel Committee, which has further sullied its once stellar brand. Again, goofball. First of all, of course he doesn't deserve the freaking Nobel Prize. He's a horrible human being and a warmonger. But putting that aside, it's next year. It's not this year. Richard Grenell. Rick Grenell is one of my favorites because I know him. I had the unfortunate luck of having dinner with him at a friend's house, and he was a horrific human being. Rick spent, dinner, Republicans, Democrats, all trying to be nice, like it's okay that we're Democrats and Republicans. And Rick just kept going after me. And it was the weirdest thing. You're like at dinner, and he's just kept going after me. And I was like, as a Democrat, and I was like, okay, this is a dinner party. This is kind of inappropriate. That's Rick Grenell. He's another, all of these guys are the same. They are preternaturally angry. Stephen Miller, that woman, Caroline Leavitt, who's the spokesperson, right? Stephen Chung, the head of communications. Megyn Kelly, ally. Rick Grenell works with him. Laura Loomer, Trump's, Rasputin, among other things, right? Every single one of them, angry, 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 angry. Angry, but scary. His son, Donald Jr., angry, right? Rick Grenell, the Nobel Prize died years ago. Stephen Chung, who's his communications director, who's a real nut job. President Trump will continue making peace deals, ending wars and saving lives. He has the heart of a humanitarian, and there will never be anyone like him who can move mountains with the sheer force of his will. He literally, I'm going to read that again. He literally wrote this. This is Trump's communications director, he's like a big guy. President Trump will continue making peace deals, ending wars and saving lives. He has the heart of a humanitarian, and there will never be anyone like him who can move mountains with the sheer force of his will. The Nobel Committee proved they place politics over peace. Oh, let's go on. And then Benny Johnson. Benny Johnson's another one. He's got interesting rumors about him. Hold on. Oh, Benny Johnson quotes President Putin, then weighed in because Putin, Putin has got to just turn the knife, and Putin sees that Trump is upset he didn't get the Nobel, so he's just going to twist the knife and make things worse, okay? Putin responds to Trump not getting, oh, hello. Oh, that is so cool. Thank you, Carrie. I don't know that we've seen that one before. That really was kind of a wild gift. I was wondering what that was. That was insane. Wow, thank you for that. Very cool. Thank you. It caught my eye because I was trying to read over here, and I was like, whoa, thank you for that. President Putin, this award lost credibility. The committee discussed the prize for people who have done nothing for the world. He solves complex problems, crises that last for decades. I mean, and then another guy, Yair Einhorn, some other MAGA person. You are an utter joke. You gave this prize to someone that nobody's ever heard about. Well, okay, you never heard about her, but also come on. Classic Trumper. The judge of whether you made a huge difference towards peace is not that people heard about you. It's whether you made a huge impact on pushing for peace, right? It's not about whether they've heard about you. Not to mention when you admit you haven't heard about her, that says something about you, not her. You gave this prize to someone nobody's ever heard of. The only person that was worthy to receive this prize is the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Your committee is a joke. I will say this, by the way. I'm so glad they did this. I'm so glad they freaking did this. Because if there were any chance of Trump getting this next year, they killed it because they were such jerks to the committee. I mean, they're all a bunch of nut jobs. And the Norwegians are looking at this going, oh my God, these people, it's a cult. It's a cult. But yes, so that was fun. So he didn't get the Nobel Prize. We knew he wasn't going. It was too late to get it this year. But he flipped out, which is wonderful. I told you guys, we discussed this yesterday. Like, we knew he couldn't get it because it was too late. He'd have to get it next year if he was going to get it at all. But we should just pretend like he got screwed and he fell for it totally, which again, good. Yay. Mike Johnson. Oh, Mike Johnson. So the Republican Speaker of the House is freaking out about the No Kings rallies that are taking place October 18th, Saturday next in a week. These are the rallies, the anti-Trump rallies, pro-America, pro-democracy rallies around the U.S. You can Google and see where yours is. I'll be at the Washington, D.C. one at noon by the Canadian Embassy on Pennsylvania Avenue. Well, Johnson goes off and does this. It's a bunch of Antifa Marxists. It's a hate America rally. Well, this is the thing they do. And again, they don't just gaslight. They project. That's the number one thing to remember with these guys. They don't gaslight. I mean, they do gaslight, but they don't just gaslight. They project. If Mike Johnson talks about hating America, he's talking about himself. He's not talking about you and me. But literally sat there and said, it's a bunch of Marxists. It's like, oh, honey, thank you, Claire. If you understood my politics, you would know I don't even get close to liking Marxists. I mean, you guys know this. But this is what they have to do because there's going to be millions of people turning out. And millions of people turning out, not just anti-Trump, but it's about pro-democracy. It's anti-dictator. It's anti-fascism. It's pro-democracy. It is to save our Constitution. It's to save the Bill of Rights. It's to save our country and our freedoms and our democracy. It's to save America. And they hate that. They hate that. Again, the biggest threat to a fascist is shining light on the fact that he's a fascist, right? But that was great. I love that. Honestly, I'm like, you know what? Keep talking about it. Keep putting the press out there, right? Oh, thank you for the butterfly there, Addie. Keep the gifts coming. And keep in mind, guys, as I said, the new thing with TikTok now, actually, YouTube's still pretty good. The YouTube subscribers, we get the creators get 70%, which is great. Oh, hello. Thank you, Bryce. Oh, that's funky. Thank you for that. That magic roll. But on TikTok, super fans, thank you, Luis, super fans, creators can now get up to 90% of the revenue. And basically, I can get 90% of the revenue of super fans on TikTok, which is huge. So if you can afford it, and you want to be part of our community, that would be a wonderful, amazing thing if you think what I do is valuable. So thank you. Let's keep going here. Israel and Hamas. So there's some weird little mix. I'm getting warm now here too. We'll take this off for the moment. There's my sweater is like going back and forth, hot and cold. There's some weird little mixed messages from Israel about this peace deal with thank you again. Who is that? Norway. Thank you, Norway. Oh, Norway. Speaking of Norway, some weird sort of updates about Israel and the peace deal with Gaza, with Hamas. Now, they're not wrong, but like Israel's ambassador to the U.S. said, well, let's wait and see what happens because Hamas cannot remain in power, blah, blah, blah. Now, they're not wrong. Hamas cannot remain in power, and that was part of the deal. I mean, part of the deal. The problem is the peace deal included a lot of things Hamas did not agree to, right? They agreed to the first part. They would exchange hostages and bodies, and Israel would pull out. They didn't agree to the rest of it. The rest of it, Hamas was supposed to demilitarize, turn in their weapons, turn over the government to this independent body. I mean, let's see. My concern is that there is still ample room for Netanyahu and Hamas to screw this up. Hamas by not turning over power. I mean, they're a terrorist group. They can't stay there on Israel's border. You can't. But Netanyahu also screwing up because I think he would rather keep the war going than have peace. Keep an eye on that one. Government shutdown. This is kind of crazy. So government shutdown. Republicans have left town until next Tuesday or Wednesday. So they're not negotiating at all. They're just left town. This is the crazy part. They're not paying our troops. During every previous government shutdown, you pay the troops. You pay certain, like Congress gets its own money. Congress gets its salary. Federal employees tend not to. The troops, on the other hand, our service members, our military, they get paid because God forbid, right, you don't pay the troops. Republicans have decided this time not to pay the troops. And I mean, everyone's kind of going, okay, I don't quite know why. They decided to leave town as well on vacation until the middle of next week. So the troops aren't getting paid for at least the next 5 days. And of course, they're required to work anyway, a lot of them, because, they're troops. Wild stuff. I just thought that was kind of crazy. Trump is laying off massive number, in principle, of new employees. Trump is firing everybody. He decided to fire a bunch of more federal employees as revenge for the shutdown. I don't really want to put a finer point on this, okay? Trump has decided to destroy lives. He has decided to increase the American unemployment rate, to fire people who devoted their life to working for this country as vengeance. And again, it's that angry vengeance thing. As vengeance for the shutdown, Trump has decided to fire and he did today, fired a bunch of federal employees. Again, even weirder, they include Homeland Security. Homeland Security he fired. Homeland Security, I thought he was Mr. Right. That sounds like defunding the police, doesn't it? It certainly does. He also fired a bunch of people from the National Institutes of Health and the Centers for Disease Control. These are the agencies that keep us alive from dying from disease. And they already fired a bunch of people earlier, but they're firing more. Guys, he doesn't care. He doesn't care what happens to any of us. I mean, this is so dangerous what is happening. Again, Luna said so much for America first. Again, everything they say is projection. Everything they say is the opposite. When he says America first, he means to hell with America. That's what he means. He will hurt America first if he says America first. And that's what he's doing. I got to tell you, no one's talking about it, but it kind of makes you wonder about the Putin stuff again, because everything Trump is doing, it would be out of Putin's playbook. It's the kind of stuff Putin would want him to do. I just kind of wonder, like the meetings in Alaska, wouldn't it be nice to know what Putin actually told Trump? Could you see Putin going, you really ought to have martial law. That's what works. I mean, fire a bunch of federal workers, fire your health people. And of course, goofballs like, again, oh, well, you hear what Putin told. Remember, Putin told me I actually won. He went off about that evening on Fox News. Putin told me I won, because of ballots, mail-in ballots. And you were just going, you believed Putin? You actually believed Putin? Seriously? Anyway, what else we got? More stories of American citizens getting arrested and roughhoused by ICE. This is really disturbing. Two new stories. One is recent. One is from a couple months ago, of Latino Americans, American citizens born in the United States. And U.S. has birthright citizenship. You're born in America, you're American. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Chrissy, for the gifts. Claire, especially for the big one. You're American if you're born here. Like, you're American. That's it. And they're stopping Latinos on ISIS and their cohort are stopping people who look Latino on the street and demanding their papers. And if they don't have them, they're arresting them and claiming they're illegal. The problem is, in America, we don't have to have papers. We don't have papers. We don't. The only thing we have proving our citizenship, I mean, your birth certificate, if you can find it, but your passport. The problem is most Americans don't have a passport because most Americans can't afford to travel because we live very isolated. We don't have much vacation time. A lot of Americans get 2 weeks vacation and that's it. People can't afford to go abroad, right? People don't have passports. And I will say more generally, literally, and I told you guys this the other day, from an American perspective, the idea that the police would stop you and ask you to show papers is literally NZ World War II German stuff. I mean, for an American, politically, that's how we take that. The notion that we would have to carry papers to prove our citizenship and that at any moment we could be asked to show our papers, literally, that's German World War II stuff. I'm trying not to use the words because it upsets TikTok. I mean, quite literally, any of the Americans here can tell you, like, it is that ingrained in our genes as far as like, we do not carry papers and you do not ask us for papers. They are stopping people who look Latino and demanding papers. And of course they don't have papers because Americans don't carry. I don't carry papers proving my citizenship. By the way, I've got a passport. I don't carry my passport. And I don't even know. Maybe it's on Dropbox. I couldn't tell you. And they take your phone away, so I couldn't prove it anyway, right? It's disgusting what they're doing. So listen to this, 2 different stories. One was George Retes, born in America, served honorably in the U.S. Army. ICE agents engulfed his car on July 10th in tear gas. Thank you for the gift, Shayna. They engulfed his car in tear gas, pepper sprayed him in the face, detained him, and then placed him on suicide watch. He was a native-born American. A second one that just came up. Agents detained a U.S. citizen in Portland, Latino, of course, born here, and threatened to get the dog on him if he didn't cooperate. And they did get the dog, right? Took his phone, kicked him into a van, but then kicked him, kept him locked up for several hours, and there was video. I don't know how. He must have had his phone or something. He recorded it, and you see the agent going, "You overstayed, didn't you? You overstayed." Meaning you overstayed your visa. Well, first of all, they're asking, they're like, where were you born? He goes, California. He goes, come on, man, tell me the truth. Where were you born? He goes, California. What are you talking about? To the guy. And the guy goes, you overstayed, didn't you? And he goes, overstayed? What the hell? Mind you, I had to think about it. I mean, this is some regular blue collar guy, some working class guy in California, right? You overstayed. He means you overstayed your visa. You're not American. You're a Latino. And you came here and skipped your visa. So they arrested him, threw him in the van. They never apologized. They kept it for hours, never apologized. He says, in fact, they were laughing and high-fiving when they threw him into the van. Then, listen to this. He was born in California. Listen to this. When they let him go, again, he's an American citizen born in California, as American as you get. When they let him go, they handed him a list of free resources for illegal immigrants. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, they arrest you. You're an American. They arrest you and claim you're not from here. And then after 5 hours, they realize you're American, but then they still give you papers that, oh, he is suing. Yeah. They then give you papers like, oh, here are some resources for illegal immigrants. And he's like, I'm American. That's why you're releasing me. This is, I mean, guys, you know, it's disgusting. But I mean, it really is disgusting. This is, again, I need better words than fascist. I don't even know what to use. Thank you, Jazak. It is disgusting behavior. Again, it's World War II German stuff as far as from our perspective as an American. You do not ask us for papers. Now, the worst part is, under U.S. law, Americans don't have to prove citizenship. The problem is, Americans don't have to prove their citizenship, but foreigners do. So thank you. Who's that? Yvonne. Thank you, Yvonne. So you get into this conundrum of ICE doesn't know which one you are. If you're American, you don't have to prove it. If you're a foreigner, you do have to prove it, but ICE is looking at you going, which one are you? And of course, what they're doing is racist stuff. This is World War II. When I say World War II, I don't mean the Germans. This is what we did to the Japanese Americans in World War II. Folks are probably, you all may not be familiar with this. You should Google it. During World War II, we imprisoned, I want to say, how many people was it? How many was it? We imprisoned Japanese Americans, a horrific number, because we thought they might be working for the enemy because they were Japanese American. I want to find the actual number. I don't want to guesstimate the number. We had concentration camps set up for them. Now, they weren't German concentration camps where you killed them, but they were prison camps that we set up for them, internment camps. How many Japanese Americans were put in internment camps in America in World War II? Thank you for the gift there. Who is that? Sarah, thank you. 120,000 Japanese Americans were imprisoned in internment camps during World War II. Roughly 2/3 of them, around 80,000 people, were U.S. citizens by birth. They were born here. Okay? By birth. The government forced them from their homes on the West Coast after the 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor. They were held in 10 main camps across remote areas of California, Arizona, Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, and Arkansas until 1945. They imprisoned these people for 3 years in camps. That's what the Trump people are doing. I would say this is the first time we have ever had a concerted effort by the government to basically go after, oh, thank you, dog, you're a little early on the waterfront. Stop. I don't think we've had anything. George Takei wrote a book about it. Yeah. George Takei from Star Trek. I'm going to give her more water. I don't think we've had anything like this since World War II, to be honest. And this is why people get upset. Stephen Miller tried his bullshit today on governor from California. Governor from California was complaining about ICE again and ICE instigating violence. And of course, Miller tried to do one of his tweets where he was like, aha, I'm paraphrasing, but by criticizing ICE's violence, you're promoting violence against ICE. And I was just like, oh, bravo. George Orwell would be so proud of you and the Communist Party of America, right? By criticizing ICE's violence, you're promoting violence against ICE, so you're the bad guy. You should not criticize the government when they violate your rights. Yeah, sure. A lot of people, I jumped on him and a lot of people did too. I was like, you know what? Go away, little German boy, 4'10". What else we got? As I said, oh, by the way, Damien, of course, knows Stephen Miller. Not knows him, but the big discussion on how tall Stephen Miller is because Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a American congresswoman, very, very smart, very sassy. She, the other day, suggested that he was angry because he's only 4'10". We talked about this, 4'10", which is maybe 150 centimeters. And he's probably not 4'10", but online, Google was claiming, well, we don't know how tall he is, but we believe he's 5'10". 5'10" is my height. 5'10" is like 177, 179, 78 centimeters. Google claims he was that. I mentioned it to my friend Damien. A bunch of you know Damien. And Damien goes, no. Damien goes, I'm 5'10". I was at an event because Damien caters. He goes, we were catering an event with him years ago. He was standing next to me. He goes, he's here on me. Which would mean 5'3", 5'4", probably, maybe 5'2". Yeah, he's probably not 5'10", but he's very short. So I think 4'10" works as far as I keep using 4'10". It works for me. What else have we got here? Pentagon propaganda. This was interesting. So the New York Times did a story, very bad. They did a story about the new Pentagon propaganda rules. The Pentagon is now, again, communist government that we now have in America, George Orwellian communist government. The Pentagon has new rules that, for the journalists can't report on anything. And the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times wrote an article about, Pentagon relaxes, rules or whatever. And they didn't at all. Listen to this. This was, I think, from CNN. Hang on, let me pull this up. Over the past 24 hours, the Pentagon has seized on a story published by the New York Times to whitewash its draconian new press rules. Regulations so extreme, they prohibit reporters from soliciting tips on social media. So you can't even write on social media, hey, if you've got any tips, feel free to give me. You can't say that as a reporter now. You're banned by the Pentagon. Bars all photography inside the Pentagon and forbids sketches of what journalists observe. So I think they mean written sketches of what journalists observe unless permission by the press office is granted. Trump is going to base Qatari Air Force now in Idaho. Nobody knows why. The defense, well, okay, we know why. We know why. They bribed him. Government of Qatar is now going to have Air Force F-16s or something, or F-15s or F-16s stationed in Idaho. Idaho is one of our states in the Northwest. It's kind of very conservative and kind of in the middle of nowhere, but Northwestern U.S. They're going to put a bunch of Qatari Air Force officers there, like a contingent. Everyone went, why? Let me tell you why. Qatar is the country that bribed Donald Trump with a $500 million plane. Remember the plane they gave him to use for Air Force One? $500 million for free. It was a bribe because guess who gets to keep the plane when he leaves office? Donald Trump. They literally paid off our president to the tune of $500 million that U.S. taxpayers are going to have to spend $1 billion making the plane pretty. It's going to take several years to do. So Trump is going to then get the plane. Trump is getting $1.5 billion bribe from the Qataris. They also gave him some golf courses worth like millions, a huge amount of money. They bribed him with golf courses too. So yeah, that's why we're giving them that. That's where we're giving them that. Lovely. Always nice. Actually, it is kind of funny though, because I mean, Idaho is about as conservative Republican as you get. And the notion that they're going to put a bunch of Arab Muslim military guys in Idaho is just kind of funny, because obviously we're okay with that. But the Trump people, the MAGA people, I mean, their whole thing with Islam, I mean, these guys are Muslim. Their whole thing with Islam, they go crazy over anything Islam. And they're putting a bunch of, not to mention foreign military. Like, why are they putting foreign military stationed in the U.S.? That's a little weird too. I mean, you know, we've got Canadians here. We like our Canadians, but again, I don't care. But MAGA is not going to like this, which should be very funny. MIT rejected Trump's weird Marxist MAGA loyalty oath. Trump went to about 10 universities or so and is demanding they sign some weird Marxist MAGA loyalty oath thing that if they don't get money. They've got like extra money he's going to give them. MIT was the first one to go, no. The loyalty oath includes banning, basically criticism of conservatives has to be banned on campus. You're not allowed to belittle conservatives or you don't get the money. You've got to ban belittling conservatives. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean like if I'm a student, I can't make fun of college Republicans who are having a protest or a rally or something? Does that mean if I'm a professor and we're talking about Trump's tariffs and Trump says, oh, right, only foreigners pay the tariffs. As a professor, I can't say that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. American companies pay the tariffs. Oh, you just belittled conservatives, right? I mean, but again, think of just the fascist ideology of, thank you, Bowie. This is, or I say communist because it really is. This is Orwellian. The Orwellian communist stuff is what this is. I mean, we're going to have universities sign loyalty oaths, or they're not going to get federal money. They're going to sign loyalty oaths that one political party is free from criticism on campus, mind you, but the other one's okay, right? You only aren't allowed to belittle conservatives. You can belittle liberals. You just can't belittle conservatives. I mean, again, it's I don't know what else to call it, but communist. I mean, it's insane. Trump is going to put 100% tariffs on China. No, he's going to put 100% tariffs on Americans buying Chinese goods because he's pissed at them for some raw mineral thing. Well, the stock market tanked today because guess who Trump's tariffs hurt? Americans. Guess who pay Trump's 100% tariff? 100% tariffs means he just doubled the price of goods coming in from China again. Guess who pays that? You and me. American companies and American people like you and me pay 100% of the tax. The Chinese don't pay it. Trump lies about this all the time. and says, oh, the Chinese are going to pay it. Google tariffs, he's lying. And by the way, the amount of stuff that comes from China, I mean, huge amount of stuff of imports. American imports come from China. Oh my God. Oh my God, the amount. I mean, you've got to see, probably our biggest sort of import partner is probably China. I mean, we get a lot from Mexico and Canada too, but China is insane. And especially with Christmas coming, a ton of the Christmas stuff all comes from China. And Trump just doubled the price of it. Oh, well, as inflation is, by the way, he got arrested. I wish he got elected under the premise that he was going to fight inflation. That was why he got elected. He got elected to fight inflation. That was it. The one issue he hasn't done anything on has been inflation. Have you noticed that? I mean, and I will say for Democrats, Democrats are doing pretty good on the shutdown and everything else, but they should be talking about this and going, he's invading all our cities like some madman. What does that do for inflation? Right? Nothing. I mean, literally nothing. He shut down the government. What does it do for inflation? Nothing. He's firing all the employees, federal employees. What does that do for inflation? Nothing. Now, firing all the federal employees, by the way, is going to hurt the economy. Absolutely, it puts us at greater risk of a recession. Absolutely, positively, by doing this. But, inflation doesn't seem to matter to Donald Trump as our electric bills go through the roof. My electric bill, my God, my electric bill is never coming down again. Right now, I'm spending like the least electricity because it's those in-between months when it's nice out. My bill is still $150. My bill should be $80 right now, $85. It used to be $85 during these months. It's $150. I mean, it's twice, basically. That's insane. And the thing is, you've got to gauge what it was, right? It shouldn't be. I'm in an apartment. How am I going to go solar? I'm going to put a panel. I mean, no offense, but I'm going to put a panel on my balcony. That doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. A little bit more. And there was an explosion at a Tennessee munitions plant that left several people dead. I'm going to pull this up. Tennessee. This was a strange story. This is a very strange story. Let's get the latest on this. At least some employees were killed, officials said, but the exact death toll and cause of the explosion remains unknown. At least 19 people remain missing. This is bad. 19 people remain missing after a powerful explosion ripped through a central Tennessee ammunition plant early Friday. Officials said it wasn't yet clear what caused the blast, which destroyed the building entirely. It's gone. I can tell you we're missing 19 people right now. Here's the thing, okay? We don't know Russia did it. This is the kind of stuff Russia does. We don't know Russia did it, though. So we don't know. But you better believe, well, okay, that was cute. I was going to say you better believe the U.S. government is looking into whether Russia did it. No, we're not. No, we're not. You think Donald Trump's going to let them look into whether Russia did this? Please, right? Putin literally did this in the Czech Republic. Putin went and blew up a munitions plant, a munitions depot in the Czech Republic back in like 2014 or something because the weapons were being used for Ukraine. He had invaded them that year. Were being used for Ukraine, and he blew it up. In NATO, he blew up a NATO storage facility. And he's been doing stuff like this obviously across Europe. We don't know if Putin blew it up. It's certainly the kind of thing the Russians would do. It's also possible it just, it's a munitions plant, something went wrong. But just that. I would be remiss not to say that is certainly a possibility people should consider. A little bit more here. Ukrainian delegation is set to visit Washington next week to negotiate the purchase of additional air defense systems as well as HIMARS rocket systems. This was interesting. 7 European Union states increased their Russian energy imports in 2025, according to Reuters. Among the 7 nations increasing their purchases of Russian energy, France saw a 40% jump. Netherlands imports surged 72%. Belgium, Croatia, Romania, and Portugal also raised their imports. Hungary recorded an 11% increase, but big surprise. Hungary, they're evil. That's not surprising. And Melania Trump has been talking to Putin about returning the thousands, if not more, of Ukrainian children that Russian forces have kidnapped in Ukraine. The Russians have had a policy. I'm going to adjust my computer as we talk here. The Russians have had a policy since the war began of kidnapping children. They do it on purpose. They're doing it for their own weird like population control thing. They're literally kidnapping Ukrainian children and brainwashing them into thinking they're Russians. Crazy, horrible stuff. And Melania, no, but I will say this, Melania Trump has taken up the cause. She previously weighed in on this. And honestly, I'm okay with that. No, I mean, look, I don't like the woman, but this is a good thing, right? If she's trying to help, because here's part of it. If she's trying to help, right? Yeah, Bill, that's cute. They speak Russian. I speak English. Does that mean you get to take my kid if I have a kid? Can Callum come and take him for Scotland? Oh, he speaks English. Like, right? Can France go and take children? Can they go steal children in Quebec? They speak French. Like, but again, the fact that she's trying to help, good. If Putin screws her, good. I mean, we hope Putin releases the kids, but if he doesn't, he pisses off Melania Trump. And if he pisses off Melania Trump, good, right? Because then she's weighing in with her husband and everything else. So I think this is a win-win for us. If she's able to get some of the kids released, great. If not, she's going to be pissed at Putin and she's going to be telling Trump, just more stuff to piss off Melania and to piss off Trump, which is frankly good. So either way, this is a positive thing that she's doing. No, I do. I mean, I don't like the woman, but this is good what she's doing. This is a good thing. So I praise this. I praise her for this. Anyway, so that's it for the news. This is a part of the show we hang out. Consider becoming a super fan. That's TikTok. Discord and YouTube, you can subscribe as well. But super fans are subscribers, monthly subscribers. I have a show I do every Saturday morning. I will be doing the show tomorrow at 11 a.m. We also have like emojis and fun stuff. And I will be doing more videos that you guys can access. But it is a way to support your favorite creators on TikTok. If you like the work they're doing, if you think these issues are important, then perhaps consider becoming a super fan of the show if you think what I do is important. So there. So thank you if you can. Anyway. So there we go. What else? How long do I think the No Kings marches will be? Thank you, Janice, for the cat. What do you mean by that? How long do I think the marches will be? I'm not sure what you mean. That's okay, Eileen. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, I'm still in pain from my shot. It's okay. It's just a little like, I got my flu shot and my COVID shot, and I could tell my Moderna COVID shot's making me a little, and I've got to run around tomorrow afternoon for the afternoon. I'm hoping I feel better tomorrow. I'm like, oh, well, what do you do? They're scheduled different times. Yeah, just Google them. In DC, it's at noon. Well, it's at noon right outside the Canadian Embassy, 3rd Street and Pennsylvania Avenue, Northwest. We did talk about the Qatar base. Yep, Nikki. How much larger do I think the marches will be? Oh, they're going to be much bigger this time. Yes, they'll be much bigger this time. I think so. People are freaking out and angry. Pissed. I am a lawyer, law degree from Georgetown. I don't practice, but I have my law degree from Georgetown. Yep. But I think you're going to have a hell of a lot more people this time at these marches. Yeah. These are the No King rallies happening October 18th. They're basically, I say anti-Trump. It is anti-Trump, but it's pro-America. It's to stop Trump from literally installing a dictatorship in our country, and destroying this country in a state of fascism. So, but yes, I will be there. My new microphone arrives tonight. We'll see if I keep trying to find extra microphones for my phone. Cannot find one that works. This one was more expensive. I wasn't happy. Cost me $100. I was like, all right. But it had good reviews. I was like, all right. So we shall see if it's any good, because I want something that I could wear at the rally, maybe talk to people or something. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try to stream, but I'm not sure the streaming will work because typically these things, like everyone's on Instagram and everything else and uploading photos, so that the bandwidth is not great. Yep. Yeah, I know, CMB. I was saying that Mike Johnson, the Republican speaker, was like, it's a hate America rally. It's a bunch of Marxists. No, hate you, not a hate America, hate fascism. Just hate fascism, hate NZism. It's actually a hate America rally. They hate the people that hate America. Well, at least you spelled correctly. I'll give them credit for spelling your correctly. That was rather surprising. A reporter's mic with a flat head. Well, the only problem is, I mean, I need something. I've got that. I don't need that. I need the thing that goes on my phone. Is the problem. I need something so I can broadcast on my phone. I already have one of those mics that, like a recording device. It's kind of useless for all this kind of stuff. Again, I bought one that plugs into the phone that's supposed, but the other ones I've bought are not very good. So we'll see if this one's any good. Adrian, I'm not sure what you mean. EV Clean Sounds, high noted. Is that the name of it? EV Clean Sounds? I don't quite know what you're writing there. Is that the name of the thing to look, the product to look for or something? What else? Maria. Okay. Yeah, and Adrian, just give me like the actual name of the product that, like they would on Amazon, like the so-and-so company's blah, blah, blah microphone. So I can just Google it. Thanks. Portland, Chicago. I mean, we've talked about Portland, Chicago. Yeah, I don't know if there's any news right now necessarily. Oh, sorry, guys. I did not sleep well. I mean, I don't ever sleep well, but I slept even less well because of my COVID shot. How long do you think the shutdown will last? I don't know. I mean, clearly this is not going well for the Republicans. They're clearly starting to cave. But this is Trump trying to be for a phone. I mean, this is a sure. I need a microphone for my phone when I'm out on the street. That's probably not what you're showing me there, are you? Or are you? Right? This is a Shure. I have a nice Shure, but this is what I use when I'm here. I need something for the street to plug into my iPhone. I'll write it down just in case, but I'm not convinced unless those are, in fact, I can look, a Shure SM56. I'll look and see, but I worry as to whether that's God, I hate this. My iPhone always wants me to put the code in. It drives me crazy. Let me see here. Yeah, that doesn't help me. These are micro. This does not help me. I don't need a microphone. I need something that literally plugs into my phone when I'm on the street interviewing people at a rally. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't really want a microphone, and I don't think I want that. Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean with it. Yeah, I don't think I want something with a whole cord and the whole deal. I mean, maybe. I guess that's possible. I kind of like something more portable. Yes, I guess you're right. I could do something like that, but I'd like something more portable so I could actually like walk with my phone and kind of. Sky Queen, thank you for your generosity. I realize today we got a long road ahead of us, even after Trump is gone. True. We have to figure out how to stop this from happening ever again. Yes, but I don't know, or I do know where we can start to clean this mess up. Well, I was talking to folks about this many months ago. And one of the things that can be done to stop it from happening again is when Democrats get control of the Congress and the White House, we pass laws to stop this from happening again. So that the next time Trump tries to do it, even the MAGA Supreme Court can't okay it because the law will say he's not allowed to do it. But that's some of what we need, you know? Anyway. Will you stop, please? Hi, love you, but you can wait. She's whining. She's giving her little whines beneath the table. What? Oh, Jesus Christ. Now they're... Okay, one second here. Okay, come on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now what? Oh, Jesus Christ. TikTok's doing its misinformation bullshit again. I mean, well, let's see. I'm going to appeal. Let's see. I always worry about this. Let's see. Appeal submitted. Oh boy. You know how this is. Either they're gonna okay it right away or they're not. TikTok banned me for a week for misinformation. Again, I have no idea what like this even is. You know how they are with this stuff. Misinformation. It's like, okay, haven't had one of those in a while. Oh God. Let's see. Although the problem is the appeal can sometimes be right away or not right away. Oh, and they added a strike. Well, that's kind of nasty. Well, let's see. They're so annoying. I mean, who knows? Yeah, TikTok went down because they're banning me again. What's annoying, although let's see if the appeal, they don't tell you they never tell you what you did. So you never freaking know. You never know. So you can't fix it because you're always like, what did you do wrong? You know what I mean? And you just never know. So you're like, okay, how do you not do it again when you don't know what you did? Unbelievable. God. Let's see. Although they get notice, I think, of this. Yeah, hold on. I need to submit this to somebody too, so at least there's a chance of them seeing it. Let's see. Appeal not approved. God damn it. Great. They're gonna ban me for a week now. Jeez, hold on. I hate these people. It sucks too because we were doing so well with this. It doesn't matter that I've got a backup. That's not the point. I mean, I do, but that's not really the point. I know. Well, you know how they are. And again, they review it and then you go like, what the fuck? What do you mean? Like, appeal not approved. I've got to find, wait, I have another place to submit this. Let me see. Hold on a second here. Come on. What is this? Hold on. I have to submit something here. God, they drive me nuts with this. Unbelievable with this stuff. Hold on. I have to send the appeal screenshot here. They're so annoying. God. Hold on. So, I mean, I've got the backup, but again, not the point, So freaking annoying with this. All right, hold on. We're going to probably wrap it up anyway because now I'm not in the mood for this at all. Hold on here. I've got to all right, wrong one. Open. There we go. Open, save. There we go. Because I have to upload this to them. The fuck? The fuck? What is this? Add file. Okay, where is this? It's telling me to upload the file, but there's nowhere to upload the file. Oh, shit. All right, hold on. There it is. God, I hate these people. A short form video? No. No. Hold on. Oh, they pissed me off with this. God, they pissed me off with this. And of course, it's a Friday night too, which is going to make it much harder to get any of this addressed. Way harder. God, they pissed me off with this. Ugh. Will you stop? God, they pissed me off with this stuff. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I've got the backup, but I'm not in the mood for the backup right now, to be honest. You know? Oh my God, they pissed me off. They so pissed me off with this. I mean, last time these guys were able to get it fixed, but it still took a couple days. But I mean, unfucking believable. They're so bad. They're just so bad. I mean, oh, God. Well, the thing is, it just gets on my nerves too. And again, like we're trying to deal with stuff that's really important here. Well, no show on TikTok. Well, TikTok, I guess I can try to do the backup tomorrow, I guess. Although, no, because then the backup's going to be to the public at large. You know, man, the backup is Aravos's backup, but I don't, what does that get you? Sasha, quiet. What are you whining about? Stop, please. Yeah, sorry, but why would I make YouTube available to everybody tomorrow? No offense, but it's for the paid monthly subscribers. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm so pissed. They haven't done this to me in a long time. And to not accept the appeal. They always accept the appeal. Like, that's really surprising. Really fucking surprising. Yeah, I'll be doing YouTube tomorrow morning for half an hour. Yeah. YouTube, Discord, TikTok, we can't because I'm not going to go public on TikTok. God, they're so annoying. They're so annoying. I love misinformation. Again, like, Jesus Christ. God damn them. And again, they will not tell you what the problem is. So you have no fucking clue what the problem is. You can't even, there's no way to know what the problem is because they won't tell you. God damn. I mean, it's just unbelievable, these people. Well, like I said, it's submitted. I'm a little afraid of it being Friday, though. This is not good. Friday at 10 o'clock or Friday at 7 o'clock. People out west, maybe. Of course, none of it's misinformation. This is TikTok, Although they haven't done this to me in a while. This kind of bullshit, But, I mean, my God, they're such assholes. They're such assholes with this stuff. Unbelievable. God, I hate when they do this shit. Thank you, Crystal. Appreciate that. Oh my God. It just drives me nuts. They haven't done this in a while. The thing is, it's very annoying when this stuff happens, It's it's very dispiriting when they do shit like this. And it makes it hard because I am always censoring myself. Everything I say on TikTok, I'm self-censoring. And they still screwed me. Ugh. So annoying. Anyway, I'm going to probably go soon. Where's Ben's? I think that's his phone, isn't it? I'm going to email too because I don't know. I think that's his phone. I think, ugh. All right. Well, I've written to everybody I can write. All right. What is that? Oh. Delivered yesterday. This wasn't delivered yesterday. What are you talking about? Wireless microphone. That wasn't delivered. No, it wasn't. Oh, you just got delivered. Oh, okay. The microphone just got delivered. Okay. Well, that's good. Well, we'll try the microphone on the live that I can't do. Well, no, the worst part is that they also give you a strike. You get 3 strikes and they ban your account. So not a happy thing to have happen either. Of course, I didn't say anything wrong. Yeah. No, who knows with them? I mean, who the hell knows? Maybe they don't like me calling Trump a fascist. I have no idea. But again, you need to, what are the rules here if we can't call Trump a fascist? What are the fucking rules? Right? I mean, what are we allowed to call him according to TikTok? That's the thing. I mean, no disinformation at all in that broadcast. None. But this is what they do. This is what they always do. Man. Oh, so annoying. Again, last time they were able to get a new appeal that got cleared up. So who knows? We'll see. But still, it's very annoying. Ugh, so annoying. I know I spoke to my dog. That was the problem. Who knows? I mean, yeah, no, people got to follow on other platforms too, because who knows with TikTok, right? But I mean, Jesus Christ. They're so freaking annoying. Again, last time they did this, they were able to bring it back a couple days later, the folks helping me. But it's, not going to be anytime soon. Already did. All right. They're on it. All right. Well, the white hats are on it trying to help me, so that's good. TikTok at least is West Coast, so they haven't closed up shop yet. So maybe. Again, it doesn't help that it's a Friday night. Oh man. Okay, at least they're on it, which is good. Like I said, I was a little afraid the people who helped me wouldn't be available to help, so that's good at least. Anyway, oh my God, this just so annoys me, It just so annoys me. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate that. Who knows? With TikTok, who the hell knows? Again, they never tell you what it is. I mean, they never tell you what it is. So you sit there and you go, okay, I don't know what I did wrong, big brother, and there's no way for you to know. So there's no way for you to avoid it next time. Or even frankly, if you do cross a line, wouldn't it be nice to know what line you crossed? So you don't, for your own, oh, I guess I did say that. I shouldn't have, right? Like this is literally like communist China or something, or Russia, where it's like, we will not tell you what you said wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you can just guess in an hour and 15 minutes of a broadcast what one thing you said wrong. So maybe you can censor yourself about everything, right? Because, that's the problem. If you have no idea, you're going to censor yourself about everything because you have no idea what one. I kid you not, guys. On TikTok, all I do is censor myself on TikTok. Every single word I say is self-censored. And I hate to admit it, but it's true because I'm always worried about what they're going to do. And even calling him a fascist, which he is, I'm careful about it because I'm like, oh God, they're not going to like it. And maybe they didn't like me calling him a fascist, maybe. But he is. That is a mainstream position. Right. You know what you did? Actually, that reminds me, Janice, when I was in kindergarten or first grade, I don't remember, maybe second grade. It was in my old school. So kindergarten, first grade, second grade. And I remember some girl accused me of something and I didn't do it. And the teacher comes up to me and said, and scolded me. And I said, I don't. And of course, I was always innocent little kid. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And she goes, you know what you did. It's written, you're guilty is written across your forehead. And I remember when she said it, because I was thinking, I've got guilty written on my forehead. I remember, first of all, I thought she was telling she meant for real. And then I was thinking, how the hell did guilty get written on my forehead when I didn't do anything? I was like, of course, I was a smart kid. I was like, that's extra screwed up. It's bad enough that guilty is literally written on my forehead, but when you don't do something and then guilty is written on your forehead, what's that about? I still remember this, that horrible teacher saying that to me. I mean, we're talking, this was 1969 or 1970. And I still remember her saying that, Anyway. Oh my God. Hi. What? It's still, it's a little early for you to be whining for your little treat. Your treat typically comes at 7:30. You know that? It really does. It really does. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, the, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, this is it's just so annoying when they do this. Ugh. Well, also, it is money. I mean, it is money. It could be several $100s. And honestly, too, it screws. Honestly, subscribers ought to be, to some degree, subscribers ought to like do a class action lawsuit at sometimes. You're doing this, you literally took a benefit away from subscribers for a week, really, by doing this, right? I mean, like it's a little weird. Anyway, it is letting it ruin my evening, but I'm going to try not to. It just frustrates me, like I said, because I'm tired of them not telling me what the problem is. And whenever it is, last time the one time they banned me like a long time ago, all I could get out of them was they re-listened to the snippet and said they didn't like it. And I said, what did I say? They won't say they didn't like it. I'm like, what the hell is that? Did they say it with a Chinese accent or a Soviet accent? Thank you, NJ. I'm like, what do you mean they didn't like it? Right? They wouldn't say what it was, the TikTok people. And it's like, and they did admit, I was warned. They said, well, they did say they listened to quotes out of context. And the computer only grabs a few lines, like a sentence or a few words. So if you say the wrong few words, they get upset and they ban you, and they won't listen to the context. They're just going to pull out like 6 words or 10 words, and that's it. It's like, hey, enough. And they'll just pull the words out of context and you get banned. I was like, well, how the hell am I supposed to get around that? Right? It's crazy, this shit they do. Anyway, last time it came back. Actually, last time I think only took a few hours, I think. So let's see. I mean, it doesn't matter. It matters for next weekend. We are back at that point. Let's see. But it pisses me off because it's money. It screws you guys who are super fans. Exactly. That's what I mean. Like you guys, exactly. You guys don't have access. Well, not you don't have access. Like if I put up a video, you got access to maybe I'll do super fan videos for you guys, although they still got to approve them, it looks like, or the videos don't come up. Anyway, very annoying. No, I should not let them get to me, but it does. Very annoying. All right, guys, I'm going to go. It's 7:15. Sorry, we had our meltdown for the last 15 minutes, but, exactly. I'm going to go deal with my dog. So yes, tomorrow I've got my Greek class, and then I will do a half-hour show because then I've got to go to Virginia. A friend of mine who lives out in Virginia, but like a 40-minute Uber, like $50 Uber. I'm like, I mean, I want to see him, but he lives way out there. Do they censor the videos you post? Sometimes. They have not in a while. Again, TikTok has not done this to me in a long while. So I've been kind of surprised. Hey, Melissa, thank you. It's been a long while since TikTok has done this. So, well, you can't really write an appeal. But I appealed. The appeal said no, but I have actual human beings that work with TikTok who are now submitting their own high-level appeal. So we will see. Try calling Sweetwater Sound in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Okay. I just don't want something that's crazy expensive. Again, I paid $100. Well, it's downstairs. I'm going to test it out and see. Anyway, we'll see. Like I said, last time within a couple hours, it got approved, which was good. Let's see. Again, I think it's the fascist thing, but what are we supposed to call these guys? They're fascists. I don't know what else to call them. Literally it has become a fascist government where they're using violence to promote their will. I don't know what we're supposed to call that when it literally is. Who knows with these guys? Who knows? And I mentioned getting my COVID shot too, right before that happened. You never know, right? Who knows with these guys? Actually, couldn't you see it? I mentioned my COVID vaccine and how I'm not feeling well after my COVID vaccine. Couldn't you see them? COVID disinformation or whatever the fuck. I mean, who knows with these guys, right? Anyway. Anyway, oh my God. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. All right. I will do tomorrow's show. Like I said, I'll probably do a half-hour show for the monthly subscribers tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, and then back Monday at 6. I mean, I've got the backup account. I'll use it for Monday at 6. We probably do need to get more people to join in the backup account. It's only about 4,000 people, but um, you know, but at least it's something. At least gerade nicht der was. Um, I know selling microphones. I mean, who knows? Like I told you, who knows? They don't tell you. All right. I'm gonna go, guys. I don't feel well tonight anyway, like I said, because of the vaccine. I've been feeling a little vaccinated, so I could use chilling out. And it was cold last night too. And like, I mean, it was the first cold night we had. So my room was cold. I needed a blanket. It was just like everything across the board was bad last night. So I'm gonna get my at least actually I may change some of my sheets tonight too. I've got like my winter plushy sheet thing you put on the bed that's very cushy, but it actually makes things warmer too. So that would be nice. I hear you, dog. We're almost there. You'll make it. God. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'm going to sign off. All right. Have a good night. Thank you, Discord, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you are. See you guys. Oh, my. All right. Bye, guys. Quiet, dog.